And for the first time in history, WNBA games will be played in the United Center. The Chicago Sky will host the Indiana Fever at the UC. The highly anticipated games will feature Fever star Caitlin Clark against the Sky's very own Angel Reese.
The Chicago Sky just made a seismic move that's sending shockwaves through the WNBA. And at the heart of this firestorm, Angel Reese, benched by business, sidelined by stardom, and caught in a league-wide shift that's turning basketball into a brutal popularity contest. Here's what happened. The Sky announced they're relocating 2 of their home games this season from their usual venue, the modest Wintrust Arena, to the iconic cavernous United Center. The reason? Caitlin Clark. Both relocated games just so happen to be against Clark's Indiana Fever. Now let's pause there.
Making 18 rebounds. Remember, she's got back-to-back with 20 rebounds. Looking, pursuing. Once again, Reese trying to put it back. Oh!
Angel Reese, the viral sensation, the rookie powerhouse, the rebounding machine who's been holding it down for Chicago, she gets nothing. None of her games are being given the United Center treatment. She's stuck in the shadows while the spotlight shifts entirely to Clark. The message couldn't be clearer. Caitlin Clark is the main event. Angel Reese is the undercard. And Reese, she's not holding back. She's fired off at reporters, questioning why she's being sidelined in her own city while Clark gets red carpet treatment. Her frustration isn't just visible, it's palpable. It's raw, it's real. But this story isn't just emotional, it's mathematical. Let's talk numbers. Caitlin Clark wasn't just a college sensation, she was a movement. She pulled in more than 341,000 fans for the Fever last season. That's not just impressive, that's historic. She's broken attendance records, she's forced entire franchises to rethink where they play and how they sell tickets. Her brand? Pure electricity. Angel Reese, on the other hand, despite her incredible presence and huge social media reach, her games haven't hit those same economic highs. No sold-out arenas, no ticket-buying frenzies, no sudden venue upgrades, and now that disparity is dictating league strategy. Teams from the Las Vegas Aces to the Connecticut Sun are following suit, moving their Fever matchups into bigger, more lucrative arenas. It's Clark mania, and the rest of the league is either riding the wave or being swept aside. This is where the hard truth sets in. The WNBA isn't just a league, it's a business, and right now Caitlin Clark is good business. She's marketable, she's media friendly, she's cash in the bank. But that leaves Reese in a brutal position. Despite being one of the league's most talked about new stars, her own franchise is prioritizing someone else. The optics are undeniable and painful, and it gets worse.
Getting back up again.
The Sky didn't even try to spin it. They didn't throw Reese a bone or suggest this was about growing the game for everyone. Let's put this into perspective. The United Center holds over 21,000 people, more than double the capacity of Wintrust Arena. Just those 2 Clark-led games are projected to bring in around $4 million more than games at the smaller venue. That's not just a big number, that's franchise-altering revenue. That's the kind of money that changes how a team does business. Meanwhile, Reese's most packed game topped out at about 9,000 fans, solid but not explosive. So the Sky made a call, a business call, a statement, and they made it at Reese's expense. What makes this even more complicated is the racial subtext no one wants to say out loud, but everyone feels. Angel Reese, a black woman from Baltimore, is watching a white player from Iowa become the face of the league while she fights for recognition in her own city. It's a painful narrative that echoes decades of disparity in sports coverage and cultural bias. And while Clark's appeal goes far beyond race, her talent, swagger, and shooting range are undeniable, the optics are still messy. 2 games, 2 headlines, 2 sellouts, all for Caitlin Clark, 0 for Reese. The emotional toll on Reese can't be overstated. She came into this league a force, a symbol of what's next, and now she's being shown, plainly and publicly, that popularity, not performance, decides your spotlight. This moment is more than just scheduling. It's a referendum on who the league chooses to promote and why. Even WNBA legends are weighing in. They're calling Clark's impact historic, league-altering, a new era, and they're not wrong. Clark is changing the game. She's making money. She's bringing eyes to the sport like no one else has before. But in the process, the league might be losing something valuable: balance. The opportunity to build 2 megastars instead of choosing one. The chance to rise together instead of letting one name cast a shadow over the rest. Because make no mistake, Angel Reese is a star. Her charisma, her grit, her influence, it's all real. But star power in the WNBA now comes down to numbers. And Clark, she's not just winning games, she's winning wallets. The Chicago Sky just made their move. They didn't just shift arenas, they shifted priorities. They sent a message to the league, to the fans, and most importantly, to Reese herself. The question now is, what will Angel Reese do with it? Will she channel this into the ultimate comeback story? Will she double down and force the league to recognize her value the same way they've done for Clark? Or will this decision leave lasting damage to her confidence, to her relationship with the league, and to how future stars are treated? The WNBA is standing at a crossroads. It's no longer just about the scoreboard. It's about branding, economics, equity, and who gets to be called the face of the league. One thing's for sure, this isn't just a rivalry anymore. It's a revelation. Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is this business as usual, or is Angel Reese being pushed aside in favor of a media favorite? Hit that like button if you think this story needs to be heard. Subscribe for more no BS takes on women's sports, power, and the politics behind the game. Because what's happening in the WNBA right now, it's bigger than basketball. And Angel Reese, she's not letting this slide. Caitlin Clark didn't just draw fans last season, she flipped the entire script on what women's basketball popularity looks like. Over 341,000 fans flooded into arenas just to watch her play. That shattered franchise records for Indiana and sent shockwaves through the WNBA. Meanwhile, even with Angel Reese's dominance in the paint and her viral social media presence lighting up TikTok, the Chicago Sky couldn't replicate that kind of magic. The harsh reality? This battle isn't being fought with talent, it's being won with ticket sales, viewership numbers, and cold, unrelenting economics. Right now, franchises across the WNBA are rushing to cash in on the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. Bigger venues, premium prices, more fans. It's a full-on marketing gold rush, but Angel Reese, her games stay put. Her exposure, frozen, her perceived value, not high enough to justify the upgrade. So the question is this fair competition, or is the WNBA quietly showing us its real hierarchy? Smash that like button, let your voice be heard in the comments, and subscribe because what we're about to unpack is shaking the entire league. Let's get into it. Angel Reese wasn't just overlooked, she was straight up benched by her own franchise in the court of public perception. Look at the numbers, the biggest crowd the Sky ever pulled, just over 16,000 fans in 2016. But the United Center? That place holds more than 21,000 seats. It's a marketing dream, double the size of Wintrust Arena. And those Caitlin Clark games? Already sold out. Fans are scrambling for tickets. Now take a look at the non-Clark games, Reese's games. Tickets are still wide open, rows of seats untouched. That silence, that's fans voting with their wallets, and they're choosing Caitlin Clark. And this isn't just a Chicago problem. The Aces, the Mystics, the Sun, they're all jumping on the bandwagon. Clark's matchups are being moved to mega arenas across the country. This is no longer a trend, it's a full-blown movement, and Angel Reese is being left behind, watching it all from the shadows. The financial difference between Clark and Reese is staggering. Those two games at the United Center, expected to generate an extra $4 million in revenue. That's more than what some entire WNBA teams were worth not long ago. And let's not ignore the merch. Clark's jersey sales are blowing past expectations. Sponsors are lining up. Even concession stands are bracing for overflow. The energy is different when Caitlin's in town. Reese? Her jersey sales are solid, top 10 in the league. But she's still trailing behind Clark, and even behind long-established stars like Aja Wilson and Brianna Stewart. It's respectable but not revolutionary. For the Sky, this decision wasn't emotional, it was mathematical. But for Reese, this goes deeper. It's not just about ticket stubs, it's about identity, legacy, dignity. She came into the league as Clark's equal and rival, on the court, on social media, and in headlines. This was supposed to be her breakout year, her moment. But now, her city is splashed with Clark's face on massive billboards, and she's stuck wondering why her own team didn't fight to give her the same spotlight. That kind of blow isn't just strategic, it's spiritual, it cuts deep, it lingers. Reese built her reputation on grit, on proving people wrong. But the fire in her voice, it's been replaced by frustration. Her interviews sound different now, less defiance, more doubt. This move didn't just shuffle venues, it redrew the blueprint of WNBA stardom. And that shift, it could make or break Angel Reese's future. Because here's the truth, when the league doesn't back a rising player, it can break them. And if Reese lets this moment define her, she could be next. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button for more raw, unfiltered takes on the WNBA power struggle. Because one thing's for sure, this story, it's just getting started.